Hi, this is Michael Gannon at Yogaloft Playa del Carmen in the Caribbean of Mexico. And we're really excited. We just had an intense practice with our dear yoga sister, Johnna Smith, who just came down last night from the United States. And she's here because this weekend we start the GAVY 500 Advanced Yogi Studies Immersion. It's a 2-week, 100-hour course. And I just wanted to share some of the details of what our intention is, because it's a very unique system that we're trying to share with people. And it's a combination of traditional Ashtanga with the ancient techniques and teachings of Tantra, which are very, very different, but in a lot of ways have some similarities. But the way that we're working with them in this course is kind of leveraging the differences between the two. So first of all, those of you that practice Ashtanga or know about Ashtanga, it's considered a very strict practice. You know, the sequence doesn't change. We always do the same poses. And you can either do the pose or you can't. We don't make lots of space for variations or changing up the sequence. And because of this, once you move beyond primary series, unless you're a very serious practitioner, you don't really get an opportunity to move into second series Nadi Shodhana, which is what we call the sequence for nerve purification. So we're using the philosophy in the practical techniques of Tantra, where you can have a fire sequence or a water sequence or a lunar sequence, depending on your intention and the practitioners and what you want to do with the physical practice. And we're combining that with the traditional sequencing Ashtanga, but we've created something unique that we call VKCs, Vinyasa Krama clips. Vinyasa Krama, you probably know, means intelligent sequencing. So we've created these mini clips of 3 or 4 poses to help us lead up to a particular challenging pose in second series of Ashtanga. So instead of saying, okay, put your leg behind your head, you either can or you can't, sorry, go home, we created a little sequence of 3 or 4 poses that help us work with the hip, in the lower back, in the shoulder, the different parts of the body, to allow us to get closer to doing that pose. Now, with some practitioners, they'll actually be able to then achieve the pose after the VKC sequence. Some of them will not. But even if you can't obtain the pose, you're learning how to work towards the pose, and more importantly, getting the benefits of the pose with your intention of moving towards it. Okay, so we're working with the sequence to train teachers how to use it for their own practice, and then as they're ready to share that idea with students, to work towards the idea of what you would do when you're practicing Nadi Shodhana or second series Ashtanga, but much sooner than maybe your physical ability will allow you. So we're kind of bastardizing the Ashtanga tradition a little bit, but respecting it enough that we're not changing it. We're creating something different around it. So that intention with the practice matched with many, many different elements of the Tantra philosophy, lots of pranayamas and meditations, and the fire of the practice with both of them becomes what unites them together. So we're going to start every day at 7 a.m. till 8 with pranayamas and meditations. We have a short superfood shake break that we make here ourselves, and then at 8:30 to 10 we have an intense practice, and then we go to brunch together for an hour and a half where we can actually sit and discuss the practice and things that come up. Then we come back for 3 hours of intense technique training, learning the different poses from a teaching standpoint, how to share them one-on-one, how to teach them in small group as well as the whole group, and lots of practice on adjustments in the words to use to kind of help people activate their body in a pose. Then we have lunch together, and then we break from 2:30 to 5:30. Then we have time for you to check in with your teacher about any questions you have. And then at 6 o'clock, we do an additional practice from 6 to 7:30 each day. And then we're done until the next day at 7 a.m. We also have a tapas to mezcal, which happens on Friday night. This is an important part of the fire and the inner heat and purification that comes from both of the traditions as well, which gives us a way to work off the mat internally and externally. And then we continue the same program the second week. One early morning we will get up and do a sunrise meditation on the beach just 2 blocks away, and then another afternoon we go to one of the cenotes in the jungle where we do some pranayamas and meditations with this natural water that comes up out of the under river system here in the Yucatan, which is something that's very special about coming to this area. So There's still space available if you'd like to join us. You can find details at michaelgannonyoga.com. And it's a last minute thing, so you have to get on a plane or shoot down. But we start Saturday morning at 7 a.m. You can send questions you might have to that contact us there on the website. And if you don't make it now, we'll definitely be repeating the same program again in 2015. Thanks for your time. Namaste. Shanti out.